This is going to probably be the most Atlanta thing you're going to see today. Let's bring in Pink Book Lessons. You may have seen this already, but oh my gosh. This is so Atlanta. I'm embarrassed, but let's go ahead and talk about it. Here we go.
Specialist Williams, step up front, please.
An early morning arrest inside the Clayton County Jail after the sheriff's office says security specialist LaPortia Williams smuggled contraband to an inmate.
You are hereby terminated from the Clayton County Sheriff's Office and under arrest.
Look at that woman behind her. She looking
Atlanta
like
News First heard jail phone audio of
that woman
Williams
behind her was looking
conspiring
like,
with
what?
inmate Rodriguez Martin to smuggle this phone charger inside of this cereal bar box.
This woman showed up to work where she was approaching 90 days. She was called to the front of the room. Maybe she thought that she was being celebrated or something. Instead, though, right there in the middle of the morning meeting, in front of all of her colleagues, her boss called her up to the front unexpectedly and proceeded to fire her on spot in front of everybody before having another coworker slap handcuffs on her and hauled her off to the back of the jail with the other inmates.
These people look like, what am I seeing? bless this, bless this woman heart right here, man. She looking like, what? She looking like, you gotta be kidding me. Girl, did you really? Yo, this is crazy. Why, Atlanta? We must be stopped.
That's 38-year-old LaPortia
Mm.
Williams. LaPortia worked at the Clayton County Jail in Georgia as a security specialist, where she was responsible for maintaining safety and security for the jail, for staff, and inmates. She had to monitor inmate activities, enforce rules and regulations, but she was the one caught breaking rules with one of the inmates by smuggling contraband into the jail for a male inmate that she supposedly having an inappropriate relationship with, although she's working a no contact position where she's not even supposed to be speaking with inmates. But turns out she was doing a whole lot more than talking.
Yes, she was.
LaPortia was caught on security cameras smuggling contraband in the jail for this inmate right here. Again, she was in charge of maintaining the rules, but not only was she caught breaking the rules, but she was helping this inmate do it too. And unfortunately for Portia, she didn't get away with it. Now, instead of clocking in for work, she's facing multiple felony charges. She's out of a job, out of options, and as a single mother, she's left figuring out how to survive with a criminal case hanging over her head while in the middle of a family court case with her baby daddy, too.
Specialist Williams, step up front, please.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
You are hereby terminated from the Clayton County Sheriff's Office
Oh,
and under arrest.
Take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the
absolutely.
channel and click
Absolutely.
the notification bell for all updates. Won't waste any time. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
Hold on. I got to throw one in myself. I got to throw that in myself.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Flag on each and every one of y'all.
I'm still surprised how quickly people will put what seems to be a pretty good job in jeopardy. And I want to bring in another, before we finish up Pink Book Lessons, I want to bring in another incident at the same jail. And my issue, and you've noticed this trend, these people have been in these jobs for maybe less than a year. I think this gentleman might have been a year and a half, but there have been other instances where somebody's been in 90 days, so on and so forth. Right when they first get in, they mess it all up. They mess up the bag, as the kids would say. Check this one out.
6 o'clock. The Clayton County Sheriff says he has fired a correctional officer who's accused of beating and tasing an inmate. The sheriff says the officer threw the first punch. Now, this is Darius Roberts. The sheriff says he got into an argument with an inmate at the Clayton County Jail on Wednesday. Then the sheriff says Roberts punched that inmate several times, slammed him to the ground, and then tased him. The sheriff says other officers had to physically remove him. Roberts is now charged with battery, assault, and violation of oath. The sheriff's office hired him in August of 2024.
So just barely a year, just under a year. And this happened just under a year. And this fellow has already put his whole job, ruined the whole deal that he had. He had a pretty decent job. If you live down in Clayton, that's a pretty good job down in Clayton. Like it or not, it's a decent gig, and it's consistent. You know, you got your steady income. You can move up, all that kind of jazz like that. Let's bring this in and see how it went. Let's go. I just thought it was wild also that the sheriff or the jail administrator called the news in. The news isn't usually there for roll call. They called him in for this reason. He is not playing games. Check it out.
Jail. The Clayton County Sheriff says that one of its employees is the culprit, and she is now behind bars, and our cameras were rolling as that arrest happened. Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond is at the Clayton County Jail with the story you'll see only on Atlanta News First.
This arrest definitely came as a surprise to everyone in the room during that 6 a.m. roll call where our cameras were rolling when 38-year-old security specialist LaPortia Williams was called to the front and then placed in handcuffs. The new jail administrator here says he hoped the message comes across that this will not be tolerated.
Specialist Williams, step up front, please.
An early morning arrest inside the Clayton County Jail after the sheriff's office says security specialist LaPortia Williams smuggled contraband to an inmate.
You are hereby terminated from the Clayton County Sheriff's Office and under arrest.
Atlanta News First heard jail phone audio of Williams conspiring with inmate Rodriguez Martin to smuggle this phone charger inside of this cereal bar box. Major Michael Johnson says security cameras captured the moment Williams dropped that box into a trash can like Martin asked her to. A shakedown inside Martin's cell block this morning ended with the inmate back in handcuffs.
Specialist Williams is now an inmate here at Clayton County Jail because of you.
Major Johnson says when he took over as jail administrator a month ago, he warned everyone there would be changes because this happens far too often.
That I can't believe that they're still doing it. After I gave them warning, I told them there's changes coming and let them know that there was going to be consequences to actions such as this.
He says he hopes his message this morning was clear to the other employees that this cannot go on.
If you make a decision to do criminal activity in our jail, you'll see the same fate.
And Major Johnson says he wants to set an example for the future of this jail and their inmates.
We are making sure that we are taking care and custody of all of our inmates and taking care of all of our employees as well. And today we effected a little more change.
During a sweep of that jail block, deputies did find an iPhone in one of those cells, and Major Johnson says it's not yet clear how Martin and Williams developed a relationship to the point where she was tempted to bring in this contraband. At the Clayton County Jail, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
That is crazy work. Now, and this is, I hate to say it, is very common here in Atlanta. It's kind of embarrassing, and I'm sure it's like this in other big cities. New at 6. Big cities as well. How much contraband? How many? Because again, the only way they get contraband in is by someone employed there bringing it in. That's really the end of the day how it's happening. But let's bring back Pink Book lessons. Let's finish this up. And here we go. Let's go. Reese's Puffs, what are those? Are they good? I don't know.
Clayton County jail officials have arrested one of their own and charged her with trying to sneak contraband into the jail.
A security specialist and the inmate who was supposed to receive the cell phone charger have both been charged. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor joins us from the Clayton County Jail with more on this hair-raising story. Angelique.
Good afternoon to you both. Well, this security specialist was hired to help keep the 1,800 inmates here at the Clayton County Jail in check. But in the end, the major says it was the security specialist who broke the law.
There was multiple conversations between Ms. Williams and Mr. Martin, and specifically about
this incident.
Clayton County Major Michael Johnson says security specialist LaPortia Williams was caught on videotape dropping a cell phone charger, which was concealed in a cereal bar box in the trash can. The major says the 38-year-old jail employee was providing the charger to her high school sweetheart, inmate Rodriguez Gonzalez Martin.
He was her high school sweetheart. I don't know about that, but these days people call everything a high school sweetheart. It's just weird hearing about a high school sweetheart, and the last time they were in high school was exactly 20 years ago. They got to be class of 05, and it's now 2025. And he's obviously been collecting new charges left and right while she's been dodging her baby daddy, playing parental alienation games, trying to use children as pawns to maintain some sort of control, yet she had no self-control down there at her job at the jailhouse. So here she is, a fool, getting arrested for messing with another fool while he's in the middle of fighting criminal charges already, and she's in the middle of a family court battle. It's not a good look for either of them.
She's seen on video bringing a box in to a specific housing unit, dropping it in a trash can, and then leaving.
Major Johnson says suspect Williams was hired as a security specialist back in March. In that position, she works the towers and should not have contact with inmates.
She was just hired back in March 15th. So she couldn't even make it 90 days without carrying on an inappropriate relationship with an inmate at the job.
It's very concerning because we are in the care and custody of 1,800 plus inmates, and to think that they'll do something at this level to where they're bringing contraband and or harming in any other way.
The major says case evidence includes a voice recording between Williams and Martin.
Hold on, get it for you. I was asking you, you know how you come out here? Anytime you eat out of it, just throw it in the trash and I got somebody to get it.
This guy told her to smuggle contraband, where to drop it, and this fool listened. My thing is, why was she talking to him in the first place? She's an employee at the jailhouse. He's an inmate. Her job was a no-contact position, so sitting up there in the tower didn't require her to actually interact with inmates at all. So yeah, why was she even talking to him? Up here hooking up with Pookie, and now she's plastered all over the news, getting fired in front of everybody, her co-workers, and hauled off to jail at the same time. All of it caught on camera by the local news.
That's messed up.
Williams is facing 3 felonies for the illegal drop. Inmate Martin is charged too. Major Johnson makes it clear any other employees or contractors will face the same fate.
Know that we're watching. Know that if you're bringing it into our facility, you may get it by today, but we're still watching. We're going to catch you.
He said, we ain't
And the
playing
major
games.
said when they did a shakedown today, they did find an illegal iPhone inside inmate Martin's cell.
Contraband inside the jail. The Clayton County Sheriff says that one of its employees is the culprit, and she is now behind bars, and our cameras were rolling as that arrest happened. Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond is at the Clayton County Jail with the story you'll see only on Atlanta News First.
This arrest definitely came as a surprise to everyone in the room during that 6 a.m. roll call where our cameras were rolling when 38-year-old security specialist LaPortia Williams was called to the front and then placed in handcuffs. The new jail administrator here says he hoped the message comes across that this will not be tolerated.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
An early morning arrest inside the Clayton County Jail after the sheriff's office says security specialist LaPortia Williams smuggled contraband to an inmate.
And the administrator here, he's still new on the job too, trying to prove a point to the employees. You see, he had the news on deck and all to capture this.
Right.
You are hereby terminated from the Clayton County Sheriff's Office. And under arrest.
Look at bro man back there. He looked like, wait, what happened? Look at my man back there in the back. The light-skinned brother right there. I'm gonna back it up a little bit. Watch his face and watch him look over to his partner like, what? Did we just see this?
You are hereby terminated from the Clayton County Sheriff's Office. And under arrest.
What?
Atlanta News First heard jail phone audio of Williams conspiring with inmate Rodriguez Martin to smuggle this phone charger inside of this cereal bar box. Major Michael Johnson says security cameras captured the moment Williams dropped that box into a trash can like Martin asked her to. A shakedown inside Martin's cell block this morning ended with the inmate back in handcuffs.
Specialist Williams is now an inmate here at Clayton County Jail because of you.
Correction, LaPortia Williams went from jailhouse employee to jailhouse inmate, not because of her Pookie
Right,
fling from back in
absolutely.
the day. She
That's
got hit
crazy.
with 3 felonies because of her own actions. Again, why would a single mother risk her job, her livelihood, while in the middle of a child custody case, all for an inmate? Why would she do this to herself? Nah, it was her actions and poor decision making that got her in this position. She was out of order for even having contact with Pookie Gonzalez in the first place.
No
Major
doubt, no
Johnson
question.
says when he took over as jail administrator a month ago, he warned everyone there would be changes because this happens far too often.
That I can't believe that they're still doing it. After I gave them warning, I told them there's changes coming and let them know that there was going to be consequences to actions such as this.
He says he hopes his message this morning was clear to the other employees that this cannot go on.
If you make a decision to do criminal activity in our jail, you'll see the same fate.
And Major Johnson says he wants to set an example for the future of this jail and their inmates.
We are making sure that we are taking care and custody of all of our inmates and taking care of all of our employees as well. And today we effected a little more change.
During a sweep of that jail block, deputies did find an iPhone in one of those cells, and Major Johnson says it's not yet clear how Martin and Williams developed a relationship to the point where she was tempted to bring in this contraband. At the Clayton County Jail, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
Crazy whack.
Well, here's another one putting everything on the line for Pookie. Her job, her freedom, everything. It's given extreme desperation, bottom of the barrel. LaPortia will be back in court in a couple of weeks. She's got a court hearing coming up in July. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Why are these women willing to throw away everything for Pookie? Tell me what you think about this below. I want to thank everybody who supported this channel. You can show your support as well. The link to PayPal is below. Ladies, fellas, want to balance it now.
Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. I love that. Well, needless to say, as I started this off, I don't understand why people are willing to they get a good job. You know, jobs are not easy to find. You find a good job, do the job, and go home. Like, why put yourself in a position where you are now on this side? In this case, while you're watching inmates, you now switch positions and you become an inmate. You're not getting paid. You're still in the same building, but now you're not getting paid. You don't got a job. Your kids are not taken care of. All that kind of stuff. You're causing lots of problems for your family. Because why? I don't know. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Is this probably the most Atlanta thing you've seen in a while? I don't know. And let me know. Hey, I'm sure you probably tell me from your town. You probably got the same kind of shenanigans going on there. So let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate it. Thank you for liking the video. When you like the video, it helps this video get out to more people. So thank you so much for hitting that like button, and definitely thank you for subscribing. We're getting closer and closer to our goal of 50,000. I'm looking forward to celebrating with y'all real soon. So until next time, everybody, grace and peace.